Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about one of the most essential parts of brewing kombucha, your SCOBY. If you're a home brewer, you know that your kombucha's success depends on having a healthy, active SCOBY. But how do you know if yours is alive and working as it should? Stick around, because I'm going to show you exactly how to test your SCOBY to make sure it's thriving. First things first, what is kombucha? Kombucha is a delicious, probiotic-rich fermented tea that has been enjoyed for centuries. It's made by fermenting sweet tea with the help of a living culture known as a SCOBY. This process creates a tangy, effervescent drink packed with beneficial bacteria and organic acids. What is a SCOBY and how is it formed? So what exactly is a SCOBY? SCOBY stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. It's the jelly-like, pancake-looking thing that forms on top of your kombucha during fermentation. This living culture is responsible for transforming sweet tea into kombucha by feeding on the sugar and converting it into organic acids, carbonation, and probiotics. The yeast in the SCOBY produces carbon dioxide and a little alcohol, while the bacteria convert that alcohol into beneficial acids like acetic acid and gluconic acid. These acids give kombucha its signature tangy taste and health benefits, like supporting digestion and gut health. How to test if your SCOBY is alive. Now that we know why the SCOBY is so important, how do we check if it's alive and healthy? Here are some key signs to look for. Your SCOBY is floating or slightly sinking. A healthy SCOBY might float, sink, or sit sideways. Don't worry if yours isn't floating. It doesn't mean it's dead. What's important is that you see some signs of fermentation happening in your brew. You see bubbles and fizzing. If your SCOBY is alive, you should see tiny bubbles forming over time, meaning the yeast is producing carbonation. You can also hear a gentle fizz when you pour your kombucha into a glass. Your kombucha smells slightly vinegary. Kombucha should have a slightly tangy, vinegar-like smell as it ferments. If it smells sweet after a week or two, your SCOBY might not be working properly. You notice a new SCOBY forming. A healthy SCOBY will produce a new baby SCOBY during fermentation.
This is a great sign that the bacteria and yeast are actively working.
The taste is becoming less sweet. As the fermentation progresses, your kombucha should taste less sweet and more tart. If it stays very sweet for weeks, your SCOBY might not be active. Signs of an unhealthy or dead SCOBY. Now what if your SCOBY isn't doing what it's supposed to? Here are some signs that your SCOBY might be unhealthy or inactive. No bubbles or fizz after a week or more. No new SCOBY forming on top. Kombucha stays very sweet without fermenting. A strong, rotten, or moldy smell. But remember, mold is rare and only happens if the SCOBY is contaminated. If you see fuzzy black, green, or blue mold growing on your SCOBY, it's best to throw it out and start over with a new one. How to keep your SCOBY healthy. To keep your SCOBY happy and thriving, follow these simple tips. Always use the right ratio of tea, sugar, and starter liquid. Keep your brewing jar covered with a breathable cloth. Store it in a warm, dark place, ideally 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, or better say 24 to 29 degrees Celsius. Avoid using metal utensils, as they can harm the SCOBY. Never use flavored teas with oils. They can weaken the culture. And that's how you can test your SCOBY to make sure it's alive and working. If you follow these tips, you'll be on your way to brewing delicious, probiotic-rich kombucha at home. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever had trouble with your SCOBY? What's your favorite kombucha flavor? I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more kombucha and fermentation tips, and hit the bell so you never miss a new upload. Until our next video, then stay healthy, stay happy, and keep brewing.